Hi everyone, Angela Watson here from the Cornerstone. Thanks for joining us. I have invited Allison Zmuda to speak with us today. She's the author of a really powerful new book called Breaking Free from Myths About Teaching and Learning. And I had the privilege of reading this book and also of hearing Allison speak at an ASCD conference. And in the book, she talks about an issue that's really near and dear to my heart, and that is helping students embrace and learn from failure. So I'm really excited that she's joining us here today. We tried to do an iChat and record that, and a FaceTime chat and record it, and we figured out that the easiest thing to do would probably be just to have her record a video of herself sharing some ideas on this topic, send the video clips to me, and then I'll compile them all and make a longer clip. So that's what we've done. She sent me the clips this morning. I watched them. They're amazing. So I'm super excited to be sharing these things with you. At the bottom of the screen when Allison is talking, you'll see the questions that I posed to her. So let's go ahead and dive right in and hear what she has to say. Enjoy.
Hi, this is Allison Zmuda, and I'm thrilled to be speaking with you about my latest book, Breaking Free from Myths About Teaching and Learning. This book was inspired by my 10 years of consulting experience in schools and school divisions all across the United States and Canada. And the inspiration of this book was really about trying to capture the lack of student engagement and motivation and how we can actually turn that around one teacher and one conversation at a time. What I've seen across classrooms, whether it's a public classroom or a private classroom, again, it's really a concern of how we're designing our learning and how we're shepherding our students through those experiences. Too often, kids really see school as something that strips their own excitement and enthusiasm about learning. In fact, I would argue that students and teachers alike have been so weary now of the test prep, right answer culture that requires them to do one meaningless assignment at a time without asking that larger, more valuable question of what's the legacy of school as an organization? And how does that inspire the work we do on a regular basis? So another myth is I only feel proud of myself when I get a good grade. But this book as well is grounded in tools and strategies that teachers can use to start turning this around, whether it's through policies or practices or dialogue that they're having with their students. So, when it comes to this myth, here are a couple strategies that might help. First, give students a very clear message of what quality work looks like, so that grading is more of a shared enterprise rather than it being something that teachers are doing to students. So you can demonstrate what quality work looks like by the design of a really strong rubric, but also pairing that with good models about what quality work looks like at various score points. The second piece is actually designing interesting work for them to do in the first place. And again, all too often, kids are not inspired by the work that they're doing. So again, try to make it relevant and meaningful and applicable not only to their own lives, but to the kind of work that they're going to be experiencing as part of a particular career. And finally, having a clear, consistent revision policy. Whether a student gets a 65 or a 78 or a 92, it's very important that they actually have the opportunity to continue to refine and revise their work, not only for the next time they do it on a future assignment, but also to improve their score right now by taking that kind of actionable feedback and improving the work, not only to demonstrate increased capacity on a particular topic or unit, but also it has that legacy in future tasks or experiences they'll have. So another myth is once I get too far behind, I'll never catch up. And this is devastating both from a student point of view and from a teacher point of view. Often we try to make the work simpler for those students. But at the same time, there's a very big difference between making it simple and making it meaningless. So once again, strategies or suggestions to deal with this is number one, try to do work that's as relevant and meaningful as possible to them, right? So if you have a struggling reader that you're working with, figure out what books they like to read or what texts they like to read and start leveraging that experience based on a customized or personalized approach. Second is that you're really trying to tap into other areas of interest or strengths that you've seen in their work and actually use that and filter in those math skills or science skills or social studies content knowledge as a natural design that's required in that particular task or topic or problem or challenge that you give them. Finally, it's really about a question of perseverance. And again, it's a challenge that you see in so many of our students and even our teachers about how can we continue to inspire ourselves to do better and to be better without actually having this kind of narrow vision of what it is that we're good at. So again, I would encourage you to actually have honest and open conversations about what kids are both good and what they perceive not so good as, but also actually have them to continue to push the boundaries by doing things that they're not necessarily comfortable with, but at the same time, they also need and deserve to get concrete feedback and then tackle that strategy or text or problem again, given that kind of information that they got that's so valuable from a teacher's point of view. So one final myth. If I make a mistake, my job is to replace it with the right answer. Again, when you're thinking about this myth in particular, this is the enemy of intelligence. We don't learn by erasing what we thought originally and replacing it with the right answer. We learn through failure. We learn through making mistakes. And again, having the courage to actually evaluate our own work and then improve upon that, that's really the hallmark of intelligence and wisdom and increased capacity, whether you're an artist, whether you're a mathematician, or whether you're a writer. So again, here are a couple strategies or tips to help with that kind of erase and replace mentality. First is actually have students write in pen, or actually have students write on the computer and then highlight and make red ink so that they can actually see the revisions that are happening in real time. Google Docs is a great way of doing it, but you can also actually have kids write the answer and then create a separate space for a revised answer. So that's one strategy. The second piece is actually having them see that all greats in the field, whether it's Tiger Woods or whether it's Albert Einstein or Pablo Picasso, all of them make mistakes. All of them really needed to learn through experience. So Albert Einstein's famous for saying 99% of the time he's incorrect. So again, the challenge is really trying to inspire them with the geniuses or the greats in the field to actually have them de-stress a little bit so that they can struggle appropriately. And finally, as teachers, we need to make peace with the fact that we can't do it in 15 minutes or less. We can't tie this up in a pretty bow at the end of a 45-minute classroom period. Sometimes kids will get it in 2 minutes, and other times kids will get it in 3 days or 3 weeks. And again, trying to create space in our instruction so that we can not only observe where they're getting stuck, but we're also giving them problems or tasks or texts based on the challenges that they're having, and actually having them see the power of getting themselves unstuck. So again, when it comes to this, it's an efficiency move to actually get them unstuck. That's not really, again, what learning is about. Learning is grounded in the powerful problems and challenges we give them, and then getting out of their way and seeing them fly. So a final thought. Kids today can do anything they set their minds to, and they can do it right now. They don't have to wait to become an adult. They can start tackling real challenges and problems and concerns right now. Our job as educators is to really try to be thoughtful about the kinds of questions and problems and challenges that we design for them, but we also bring into the classroom to continue to personalize and inspire their work. Thanks so much.